All right, welcome back to another live stream. So for this London session, we have already executed 2 trades, one on AUDCAD on a short position and another one on USDJPY on a long. Let me run through the reasons why I took the trade. These are all live accounts, no demo trading yet. These are all live accounts. So we took one loss this morning, and now we are currently floating in slight profit for another 2 trades. So let me run through one by one. So let's start with USDJPY first as to the reasons and why we took the trade and the key levels. So for USDJPY, previously 2 days ago on Monday, I've identified this CPI data high as buy side liquidity for price to trade into, and we have won the trade as we can see here. And then price tapped into this 4-hour bearish order block right here, this level, from about 149.621 at the low to 150.839.840 at the high, 846 sorry, at the high. And then since then, price has turned bearish. However, on a higher time frame, I remain bullish because there's a bigger draw on liquidity over here, the premium array on a daily, right? The higher the time frame, the bigger the gravity in the sense where it acts like a magnet that price wants to trade into. Furthermore, we have inverted this 4-hour fair value gap over here, and then at the same time created a daily fair value gap over here on 7 October. So if you look at the 15 minutes time frame, I remain bullish, targeting at least back to that swing high we have created previously, right? But I am taking the lowest hanging fruit, which is here, to this 15 minutes very fair value gap formed previously. So that is my target over here, right? At least to the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. So for the analysis over here, so we have identified this 15 minutes bearish order block right here because it created this low, traded back up to it, and then created another low, right? So this area is the bearish order block right here on 15 minutes time frame. And since then, price has decided to break through on the 15 minutes, retest, and giving signs of bullishness on the lower time frame, right? As we can see on the 1-minute chart. So it broke through, come back down, and then started shifting market structure to the upside, right? So right now we are still in the consolidation. I am anticipating price to trade back down further towards discount, which is why I put another buy limit over here. As you can see, right, this is the last support point, and the stop loss is below this low over here. The stop loss again, I'm playing a bit more defensive. It could be below this low if I really want to, but I just like to give price a little bit more wiggle room, as we've mentioned time and time again. So this is USDJPY. I expect price to trade up to here today, if we can. If not, we'll take a look during New York AM and PM again to see what is price doing then. So another confluence that I used to get into this long position was actually the loss that we took this morning. So let's review that trade real quick. So it was my mistake. I was looking at the calendar, economic calendar on Forex Factory, but I forgot and I overlooked about the 2 p.m. news for the pound. And the news came out was really, really bad for the pound. If I'm not wrong, it was, refresh this page, it was the pound CPI and the core CPI and PPI, and everything was red. Everything was really bad for the pound, and that's why pound dropped really, like, how many pips is this, right? Mega move. It's a very big move to the downside. But the analysis here was, because it was tapping into this H1 bearish fair value gap, right, on the hourly bearish fair value gap, and if we can see, I was bullish on GBP/JPY actually, because it was finding support at all the previous discount array, and inverting this bearish fair value gap. So I was actually quite bullish on this, and I expect to take out this equal high again, right? Yesterday we didn't manage to do so, so I was thinking today might be the day, and I got in on a long here with all my entry confirmations, right? However, when price came out at 2 p.m. Singapore time, or 2 a.m. New local time, price created this massive candle over here, massive bearish candle over here, and to us, our stop loss was below Asia low. So we took a 3% loss this morning on this trade, right? But that being said, with the pound dropping and dropping so massively, I expect the dollar index to be bullish because the pound is dropping. So as we can see at 2 p.m, the dollar created this massive move up, right, taking out all the previous highs, and right now it's having a slight retracement. But I will expect this level to hold and continue to trade to the upside, because there is this weekly fair value gap that we drew out here, or at least the consequent encroachment of the 5th August daily bearish fair value gap, which we are trading in right now, but I expect it to test the level more. Okay, and this is the weekly fair value gap low, bearish fair value gap, and this is the weekly bearish fair value gap high, right? So as I was mentioning, a higher time frame would have bigger gravity, right, and stronger gravity for the price to draw to. So this remains my draw liquidity as for now, which is why we took a USDJPY long, because it's directly correlated, right? And technical analysis is lining up. So that's for UJ. Let's look at AUDCAD. So AUDCAD, on yesterday's stream, we were talking about how it was possible for us to be in a long for a swing trade over here, and it's testing this level and it's trying to break out. But I didn't took a trade because price is still remaining within this big bearish 1 hour inverted, right, fair value gap right here. So price hasn't broke out of that, so there's no trade, and then price reversed all the way into this level, which is actually the 11th October daily fair value gap high and daily fair value gap low, a bullish fair value gap, I should say. And it traded down into this consequent encroachment level, and I demarcated this yesterday at about 3:45 New York local time. That price could do one or two things, right? So price could trade down or trade up. We can only react, we cannot predict, right? So price could trade up, break past this level up, so respecting this consequent encroachment and the daily fair value gap, trading and then retest and then going higher, which then will confirm, and that will serve as an entry for my swing trade, which I was mentioning yesterday. I was bullish on AUDCAD. However, price didn't do that, and instead it broke past the low of 11 October bearish fair value gap, and then retested this level, and then rejecting off this 15 minutes order block created within during this move, right? Rejected, came down lower, coming back up, rejecting again. So I entered two positions. I actually entered here, right, once price was showing bearish engulfings, and then price retested this level again, which I entered another position, right? So I'm risking about a bit less than $35 here, which is about 6% of my account, right? 3% on each entry. Sorry, 3% for this and a little bit lesser than that for this. So I entered two positions here, risking about 6%. The reason is because once price has broken past this huge discount array, a daily discount array, and break past and retested, and then what's the next draw, right? The next draw would be something lower because now it has disrespected a discount array, which means price wants to go lower, and he has already taken out this swing low over here, right? As we can see over here, he has been taken out this swing low. So right now the target, right, he has created another equal low over here to here, right? Relatively equal low, right? Asian low here and here, right? This is generating again sell side liquidity for us, right? But the major sell side liquidity remains here with relatively equal lows at this area at about 0.91858. So this is my draw on liquidity. For now, this is the lowest hanging fruit. So this will be TP1, TP2, right? We can leave a runner actually to the next draw, which is the next discount array, 17 September, daily bullish fair value gap. So let's take a look at the daily time frame. So this daily bullish order block, this daily bullish fair value gap has already been tested once and price rejected really strongly up, right? Contesting a higher 4-hour premium array right here and then dropping back down, disregarding this daily fair value gap and this remains a target, right, for us, at least for price to contest this level again and see if we want to find support over here or break past further. So for trades that I'm taking, I believe in the lowest hanging fruit, and I'm a scalper day trader by nature. Swing trade just takes a bit too long for me to wait it out. I don't have that kind of patience yet. So right now I'm just taking the lowest hanging fruit that is available to me, and if price want to run further down, then so be it. So right now we have already entered two positions, one at about $8.50 profit and about another $4 here. So keeping in mind that we have already taken a loss today, it's about $20 Sing. I'm down 3%. This could take me right back up with $38 and about $35 here. Well, about $70, let's call it, right? So I can be up $50 just with this trade and hitting my 6% profit target still, even with the loss. So I remain optimistic for the day, and even if I take a loss here, so be it. We'll fight another day. So there's really nothing much we can do because all the key levels have been knocked out. The trade is just trying to play out. We need to give it time. So patience is key over here. I don't want to overly trade manage this as well, like setting the stop loss to break even, etc., because I want the price to have room to breathe, right? You could do this before coming back down. So let's look at UJ. So UJ just triggered my second position. As I was saying, I expect price to come back down and contest this level. Keeping in mind that the dollar index right now is having a retracement, right? Testing this level. So I'm watching out for that. So we need to give price some room to breathe. I'm not really worried about this trade yet, but I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong, I could be wrong. And this is another $20 or so that I'm risking. The order flow is still bearish for now, right? Because it's rejecting off the 4-hour bearish order block. But because of the news, I remain bullish on the dollar. But really, nobody knows. Anything could happen here. This is still a 50-50 trade. It is still up in the air. There's a lot of relatively equal lows over here as sell side liquidity. So price could take us out and then continuing to the upside. So depending on what I'm seeing later, I might shift my stop loss to somewhere below this low, just to give price a little more wiggle room. Because I'm risking a relatively small position, I got enough leverage to wait it out, to battle with whatever the price wants to do. But patience is key. I should not act on it. I should observe more before taking any actions. So let's monitor both charts. AUDCAD is still doing quite well, floating about $9. Right? So maybe price is trying to do a lower high, right? Form a lower high, break this low, lower low, lower high, and then going back down again. I would really like to see this hourly bullish fair value gap being broken. Once price breaks past this, right, there's another order block right here. So this could be a long trade. It could take quite a while. Excuse me. So this could take quite a while to play out. I'm expecting high resistance. But the thing about trading and price action is that we can do nothing to force, and in fact doing less is doing more sometimes, or most of the time rather, because you will not know what price will want to do. All we can see is to observe and react and be patient. So if we have already entered a position, just take it that the position is already lost, right? We should not overly manage. And for a lot of people, I think the mistake is trying to do too many things, and because we are on the chart, our brain is processing all this information, all this data, all these candlesticks, and forcing us to give a reaction. Oh, should I close my trade? Should I open more? Should I buy or sell? Etc. etc. You are trying to make a lot of decisions when you are looking at the chart. So sometimes I like to take a break from the chart, to do something else, right? Watch a show, listen to some music, just to give myself some distraction and check back in an hour and see what market structure price has created. Because the more market structure that we have, the more price moves, it is going to be clearer in relative to your position that is open. Yeah, and it will give hints as to what price wants to do. So right now, AUDCAD is contesting this bearish fair value gap form over here, right? I would really like to see price close below this consequent encroachment with another 12 minutes to go. So UJ is finding some support at this order block, which is good for us. For new viewers, you can leave a comment in the chat if you have any questions as to why some trades were taken, or if you would like me to review any pairs or review what I'm doing here again. Of course, you can scroll back to the start of the stream where I explain why I took my trades. So right now, AUDCAD isn't looking too great. It's breaking past this first layer of defense, which is the 15 minutes bearish fair value gap. I'm hoping that this level will hold, which will be amazing for us. I don't want to add any more positions. I don't want to risk too much. UJ is doing well right now, floating in very, very slight profit. So both positions in UJ, well, it went to slight profit just now. I'm expecting UJ to do well and take out this high. So once price breaks past this high, which is currently the London high, I will have a lot more conviction and confidence in my positions in UJ. Same goes for AUDCAD. As long as this low gets taken, right? As long as this low gets taken, we will be in very good place. So all we can do after we have executed is to really find safety point, right? For me, I like to look at it as like rock climbing, right? We need to find anchor points on our journey up or down the wall, right? So all these swing highs, premium and discount arrays, the PVAs, right, acting like anchor points for us to latch onto, to get a foothold, to get a handhold, and for us to ascend up this wall or descend down this wall, whether you're long or short. And all these swing lows, all these safety points can act as a take profit level for you to take partials off, for you to move your trade risk free if you want to play defensive. For me, I'm currently growing a very, very small live account. I've traded way bigger accounts in the past, and I've lost a lot of money, truth to be told. So that's why I'm trying to trade a small account now and see where I can take this account to. With small consistent profits. I'm targeting 5 or 6% a day, which is quite a lot actually if you think about it. If you start compounding, in a few months you have a very, very significant amount of money. So patience really pays, but the most important thing is not about the money right now that I'm looking, but more of the percentage gain and the consistency, the habits that I'm building, so that I know when my accounts become bigger, I can scale my income, right, very consistently. So I'm seeing there's one viewer. Thank you for viewing this live stream. If you are here, please leave a comment and feel free to bring up any pairs that you want to look at or challenge any analysis that I've given so far. And feel free to subscribe. This is a very new channel that I'm growing. The whole point of me live streaming right here is to really hold myself accountable for my actions, so that I don't over trade, I don't over leverage, and I don't do impulsive stupid things and make irrational decisions. Because trading is like this, right? When you get that dopamine hit, it's like a drug, right? You're addicted to it, and it's gambling basically, right? Trading is gambling, and that's why people go to casinos and lose a ton of money over there. But I think trading is the fairest game in a way, the fairest gambling game that anyone can play, right? Anyone can participate, because even when you are wrong, you can make money. How so? By taking partials and securing your positions. As long as you have a safety foothold, you can take partial, or you can secure your position, and you can capture profits, right? Even if the trade goes against you. Just like yesterday, our GJ position, we took two partials at two different take profit points, and then the price reversed on me and took us out at profit, right? Same thing with gold. The same thing happened. And during the final hour macro yesterday at 3 p.m. New York local time, I entered another long position on gold, which I taken a partial and then I got took out, right? So even when you are wrong, you can make money, and that's how I think trading is a very fair game for anyone that is willing to learn, right? So this high is gonna get taken soon for UJ, which is very good for us. Meanwhile, AUDCAD is a bit lacking energy right now, right? We are just waiting for volatility to kick in for AUDCAD, but normally AUDCAD is a very docile pair. It doesn't move much. There isn't much volatility, and it's a quite consistent pair in a way, right? It doesn't move a lot, so it is good for swing traders, for AUDCAD, or for traders who don't want surprises, right? And they want nice market structures. So right now, UJ, as you can see, is creating a very, very big bullish engulfing candle with about 2 minutes to close on a 15-minute chart. We are up about $10 right now, which is amazing for us, right? So we are currently breaking even for our day, even after taking a loss. and that is always amazing for us to see. Of course, after taking a loss, a lot of times in the past, I myself, I'm a very impulsive guy by nature. So every time I take a loss, all I want to is to get into another position, and I want to revenge. I want to get it all back. I don't want to see a red on the ledger, and that's all I want to do. But I learned a very painful lesson earlier this year. Right, I lost 5 figures overnight. I've built the account from $1,000 and it became 5 figures, and I lost everything overnight of Bitcoin because I refused to be wrong, and I added in my position. I started scaling it in the wrong direction, and it just spiral downhill, and you can lose everything just like that, right? In the blink of an eye. So for me, even I take a loss this morning, but I know mathematics will always be right. Numbers never lie. So as long as you are risking your money correctly, right? One is to a positive risk to reward, basically, right? I don't aim for 1:2. I aim for 1:1 something, or 1:2 if I can. But 1 something is good, right? 1.6, 1.5, 1.7, whichever. And I think as long as it's a positive risk to reward, and as long as you are capturing your pips, your profit as you are going along, I think that is fine. And I think in the long run, right, statistics will play out and the probability will play out, right, in your favor, and you can be still profitable, right, even if you're wrong most of the time. So right now, even if you're wrong, right, we can close out one position and can shift this to break even, and we still got $5, right, and that is still a percent of your account, right, gain per day. It might be slower, but you're still gaining profits. So of course, we're not going to do that right now. This will be my TP1, this swing high right here, right? This is TP1. So as long as this is hit, right, I'm gonna close off one position, the least profitable one, right, and I'm gonna close the other one with a partial, and then set my stop loss to break even. But for this case, I might just close one and shift the other one to break even, right, just to give myself a bit more profit ceiling in a way. Alright, both trades are looking pretty good for now. Even AUDCAD is responding well right now. I'm up in the grand total about $22-ish. It will be amazing if the price runs to our take profit, but even if I close now, I will be a break even day. Hello, welcome new viewer. You are the only one viewing this. Please leave a comment in the chat to see if we have any more discussion ideas. I'm currently in 2 trades. Leave a like if you are finding value so far. Again, just to recap, we are in 2 positions right now. I'm liking my position in UJ way more right now than AUDCAD, but I'm still very confident about AUDCAD. It's just a very slow moving pair, that's all. And usually USD and Canadian dollars are kind of positively correlated, right? So they are directly correlated. So when the USD is stronger, right, like in this case, usually the Canadian dollar will also get stronger. Usually. So I'm still bearish on AUDCAD. It will just take some time for price to play out. So UJ is very close to TP1, where we will close out, take a partial, and move our stop loss to break even. So once again, AUDCAD is trying to contest this 15 minutes bearish fair value gap level. Let's see what price does here. So again, the lot sizes doesn't really matter. What matters is the percentage in relation to your account that you're growing. So right now I'm trying to grow a small account and I'm aiming for consistent gains. Compounding that percentage will lead to a big account in a few months' time. And these are all personal funds. And the reason why the account is small is because that is the amount of money I'm willing to risk as a stop loss to my overall capital. And I advise people to do the same thing. Although yes, trading with a bigger account is actually in fact easier. I've traded a big account before with my personal funds, and it's definitely easier because you see substantial dollar gain, right? The monetary gain with every trade. And even if the prices move a little bit, oh, you got a $200, you got $100, that's easy money. But percentage wise, that is not consistent, and the FOMO it's way bigger because you are putting a lot more at stake, and those are money that you can actually use for other things, right, in life. So I advise against that. Yes, trading a small account it's higher pressure because you need to risk a lot more to get any kind of significant gain. But as long as the percentage gain is consistent, we are building good habits right here, and good habits leads to consistency, and consistency leads to profitability. Right, thank you for viewing the channel. Thank you for viewing the stream. It's a very new YouTube channel. It's the second day of us streaming right here, and this is London. I might jump on again in New York for analysis. If you want me to do a pre-market analysis for New York, please leave a comment down below, right, in the comment section, in the chat, right, and leave me a like if you like my content so far. Right, UJ is going very close to TP1, getting very, very close. Let's see if we can hit that in the next 15 minutes. Where we'll close off, take partial, and set this stop loss to break even, and let the trade run risk free. AUDCAD on the other hand is a bit lackluster right now. Price is not energetic, it's not moving much. So I'm hoping to see a little more movement in AUDCAD to the downside. But generally, as I was explaining, AUDCAD is a slow moving pair, so a lot more patience is required. Meanwhile, UG on the other hand, all the JPY pairs, right, they have a lot more volatility because the denomination is way bigger, right? And USDJPY is two of the most fluid currencies in the world. There's a lot of import-export for these two pairs, for these two currencies, I should say. That's the reason why it's so fluid, and also that's the reason why Euro USD is so fluid. Just to double check, is there any JPY news? Not really. This morning, there's a call machinery, yellow folder. It's bad for the JPY. Again, confirming our bullishness on UJ. And trading news, right? It's a very double-edged sword, right? It's a gamble basically if you're trading news. I made a lot of money trading news in the past, but I was lucky, that's all, right? I was right on the technicals, and I was lucky that the news came into my favor. Yes, many times the market has already priced in the results of the news. That is very true, but it could go either way, right? Manual intervention, as ICT was mentioning, I don't believe it, but at the same time I believe that the central banks and federal banks trying to defend their currency, and I think that's real, right? And I think that's the reason why we see huge candles and news opening, and it could really go either way. It could go against you, it could go in your favor. So it's a 50-50 chance, and it's a gamble. So if you're trading news, trade very, very small lot sizes, trade very, very small percentage, because due to spread and whatever not, right, you could lose more than you're risking, right? And a very good example was this morning's GBP-JPY trade that we lost. I was risking $18.50, right? And I lost $23. So the $5 is it's really due to spread and the speed and momentum, that the candle is moving. The broker just don't have enough order to take me out and to fill my position. So right now there's nothing we can do except to be patient, right? We practice patience a lot in our journey as a trader. And if you're a very impatient person like I am, this is the most difficult part. I'm a very proactive person, and I like to do things, like to get my hands dirty, so to speak, right? So for me, it was a huge shift in mindset for me to start trading because it is against my nature, right? And I think most human nature is the same. You would like to do things, and the more you are doing things, the more productive you think you are, and hence more results. But in trading, it's totally different. It's the exact opposite, right? The lesser you do, the less trade you take, right? You need to be restricted, right? As a trader, the lesser trades you take, the more confirmation signals that you put yourself through, the more profitable you're going to get, because those entry criteria really plays in your favor, right? It safeguards you against the downside of the trade. But again, it's a probability game. There's nothing to guarantee that the trade will go in your favor, even if all your analysis is right and all your entry criteria were met. The trade could still reverse against you, right? The market do whatever it wants to do. So there is no way that we can predict and give, with conviction that, the market is going to move this way. All we can do is to see whether are the chances high or are the chances low, and if the chances are high enough, should we take the bet, right? After all, as I was mentioning, trading is gambling. It's just a fact, but it's a fair gambling game, right? Where you don't have the house having all the odds against you. You can still win against the house, and I think that is what I like about it. It's fair, and even if you are wrong, the results are non-binary in a sense. It's not 1 and 0. Even if you're wrong, you can make money, right? It's just the way you risk manage. It's just the way you enter the trade. It's just the way you manage trades. So AUDCAD finally is showing a bearish candlestick. Well, we are still very early in the candlestick formation on 50-minute chart, but finally it's showing some signs of bearishness. And I'm liking all these long top wicks, right, that we can see. It's showing a lot of rejection and a lot of sellers over here. Okay, cool. So both positions are in profit right now for both trades. Let's see where this takes us. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the mental bandwidth a person can have sitting through a trade, right? Once you enter to when you take out your position, right? The mental bandwidth is very important. So, for example, this morning, right now, I'm struggling in my head right now. I'm debating whether to close out in break even and call it a day or not, right? But one thing we have to know is the past result that doesn't determine the future result, and one trade is totally different from the other trade. It doesn't affect all it affects is your mental capacity and your mental bandwidth. Like this morning, we took a loss on GJ, a 3% loss, not a small loss, but we took it like a man. And these two current trades that we are in, I still believe in my analysis, right? And that is the mental bandwidth that we need to have to trust in ourselves, to have the trust in our analysis, and to not let the previous trade affect the potential of these two trades, right? I've listened to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of podcasters and successful traders. They mention, the winners, right? The profitable traders. They know when to skew in. They know when to hold their trades longer. On all the winners, right? And this is what we're looking for, right? And we need to hold on to our winners and cut our losers short. Thank you for joining the live stream, my dear second viewer. So this is a very new YouTube channel. The whole point of me starting this channel is to hold myself accountable as a trader, and to prevent myself from doing stupid or illogical decisions. Maybe you can leave a comment in the chat, right, on any discussion ideas that you'd like to see, or reasons why I took the trades I did, or maybe share where you are viewing this from. I'm trying to build a community here. If you join us now, you'll be joining at the very, very start. I'm setting up, I already set up a free Telegram group channel for us to discuss trade ideas. I'm trying to build a community of traders where we don't look for signals, right? We don't look for the easy things, and we want to grow ourselves as traders. And trading is a very lonely journey, especially from what I've experienced so far. Family and friends don't understand what trading is, and to them it's a scam, and it kind of is, right? It's very scammy in the industry, and with what we can find on YouTube especially. But I'm a real person. I am a realistic, aspiring trader, right? Trying to be profitable, and this is how we can encourage each other to grow. So right now, both positions are looking quite well. I'm up about $23, which is about 3% of the day. I'm or 1/3 way to my profit target. I'm aiming for 6% a day. For any potential viewers viewing this after the stream, feel free to leave a comment if you would like to see any pre-market analysis or any other content you would like to see from me. So maybe in the meantime, while we are waiting, let's look at gold. So last night, I took a long right over here. I was explaining that this order block, right, is a bearish order block, and if we break past it, gold is bullish, and it might trade up to all-time highs or near all-time high. So I took a long yesterday. I took most of my positions off here, right, expecting price to hit to this buy side level which I've drawn up, and another buy side here as my target. And then price reversed on me in the final hour macro and took me out in profit. So I was wrong, but I was right on the analysis. As we can see this morning in Asia, price traded up all the way to the first buy side and then to the second buy side. And right now it's sitting very near all-time high, about $10 away. So I was typing yesterday that I remain very bullish for gold for now. And all these buy side levels and all-time high is my draw on liquidity. So right now we can see, let's do a little analysis and see where we can get in on this move. We have already missed the initial move, right? This initial impulse up, we have already missed it. So right now we can see there's this fair value gap over here on 50-minute chart. Let's mark it out. So this is how we do analysis, right, on how we can get in. We have to look for discount array if we are bullish for price to come in back to. There's no point taking an entry here. Most likely the price will reverse on you, right? So let's see if there's any other entries that we can have. So this is, let's draw it out. So this is a high, a low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, and then a higher high, right? So in fact, this is the last downward candle which forms our order block. So right here, this is our order block that we are looking at. Right? So price could do two things right here, or rather three things. I'm going to explain the first two, which is price can then come back into this 15 minutes fair value gap, balance out the inefficiency, and then trading back up to all-time high, right? That is one scenario. Or price could break past this, retest this, come back to the 15 minutes bullish order block, and then make a change of character, go up, and then all-time high, right? So the third scenario is price will leave without us, trade up to all-time high, form some market structure over there, and then eventually coming back down into this level, right? So these are three different scenarios that price could do. So let's watch out for that. How I like to do my analysis is trying to, like Doctor Strange, right? You're trying to view all the future possibilities and future outcomes and trying to get as many outcomes laid out on the chart as possible, right? So this is how we do it. All right. So let's see what price is doing right now for both our positions. Ho, all right, interesting. Sorry for the little technical error right there. For the music, right now it's back on. So right now, interesting. UJ is testing this newly formed 15 minutes fair value gap. It is an entry by itself, but I'm not gonna take it. I've already entered and made my entries, so I'm just gonna see how price reacts. So I'm thinking price will retest this level and then hit back up to TP1 and then subsequently to the upside here. So it's a good thing. So do not worry about price action when they start reversing on you and you start panicking and want to close off the trade. This is just how price and market structure forms, right? There needs to be a lower high, lower low, or a higher low, and then we can make a higher high. So in this case, a high, a higher low, a higher high, it needs to form a higher low before going up, right? You seldom see price going straight up all the way, right? You don't see that often. So the reason why the market structure is formed this way is really because of how the big institutional players are trading. They have like $1 million on $2 billion worth of shit they need to buy or sell, and they can't fill their order at a very good price because the moment they enter their position with a big amount, first thing is the inefficiency of it, which is why these fair value gaps are called inefficiencies. Because imagine this, right? You're coming in at 149 and 278. As you're buying, the rest of your entries are going to go higher and higher, and eventually you are at a premium, right? So you need to enter some, and then for other players, right, as long as you're here, you can take off most of your positions or half your positions, and that creates selling pressure, and then you will trade back up to this, right, and rebalance this inefficiency, which is why this is also called a fair value gap, right? It's a fair value for the banks, for them to get into, for them to fill in more orders, and then accumulate more their positions, and then heading out, right? So right now, AUDCAD, same thing, is trying to rebalance this again, right? So it contested this, closed within this fair value gap here, contested this higher fair value gap, and right now price is consolidating a little bit around this area. So what I like to see right now is for price to take out this low, and I'll be in a safe zone, right? It's a foothold for us. Same thing for UJ, it has taken out this high. So right now, this is a foothold for us. There's really nothing we can do right here except to be patient and just sit on the sidelines and observe. what would really be very nice for us to see right now is for price to form a long bottom wick on UJ, right? If price can form a long bottom wick and then trading out higher, we are very safe. So that will be what I want to see. Same goes for AUDCAD, right? It has created all these long upper wicks. Right now it's in the process of forming the long upper wick. So this indicates a lot of selling pressure over here, and price want to hit down lower. So UJ is trading to consequent encroachment of this 15 minutes bullish fair value gap. I want to see UJ respect this consequent encroachment, right? We got 9 minutes more to see if it happens. Even if it doesn't, there is this oil block right here that's defending our position. So as I was saying, for AUDCAD, these long upper wicks are things that we would like to see. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. Same thing for UJ. Right now it's forming this long bottom wicks, which is exactly what we want to see. I'm liking the price action for both my positions right now. So it's very important for us to excuse me. So it's very important for us to, as day traders, right, to know what we are looking for the day or for the session, and trying to catch the impulse of that session, right? Because day trader, your trades most likely will end within the same day or the next day or so. So it's very important for us to have targets, right? Have drawn liquidity points or for those levels that we are looking at, and anticipate if price will want to move there today or the next session, right? So that we have a realistic target for the day and we can call it a day and start the next day fresh. So I'm not looking for a huge 100 pip move or whatever. I'm just looking for very realistic targets, the lowest hanging fruits. So for AUDCAD, this will be DP1. Let me just save this as a template. So So right now price is not very favorable for us. We got about 1 minute 50 seconds for us to take a look at what is happening. I'm hoping that it will close above this consequent encroachment level for UJ, and for AUDCAD same thing. I'd like to close below this consequent encroachment for AUDCAD. It's looking a bit more likely for UJ, but a bit less likely for AUDCAD, but let's see. So this might happen and play out in New York session. London seems to be a bit lackluster today. I think because of the GBP news that came out. But I shall set alerts at the respective level. As for this, so 20 seconds to go. Let's see how price is doing. I don't like the price action on AUDCAD right now. It's a bit choppy and consolidating, basically bouncing between the premium and discount arrays. But as I was mentioning earlier in the stream, I'm expecting this to be a high resistance trade. So UJ is doing what we like and closing above. Beautiful. And AUDCAD, not so much. So AUDCAD is not very pretty right now. Let's see what price is doing. It's looking a bit choppy and a bit ugly, in fact, for me, for AUDCAD. I'll really want to see this low get taken out. Meanwhile, UJ is very nice, looking great. Okay, I might just end the stream soon. There's really nothing much we can do right now except to watch how price plays out. And we have already set our alerts. Our stop losses are in place right here and right here. Our TP1s are demarcated and annotated on the chart for alerts being placed. So let's see how this plays out. And maybe we'll come back in New York. Okay, thank you for tuning in, for those who tune in, and for those who are watching this post the live stream. So yeah, thank you, take care.